Scorpio, what is going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Scorpio Tarot reading. I am incredibly sorry it has taken me so long. Well, since the last time I published a Scorpio reading for you, it's been a while. These past 3 months have been a nightmare for me. I found out yesterday that it looks like that's completely over with now. I ended up getting drug into a custody battle that wasn't mine. Like, I have full custody of my son, but his mom has moved on with another relationship after that and had children in that relationship. Well, the father of those kids took emergency custody, and I ended up having to go to court and testify in their custody hearing for like their actual full custody thing, and that opened up a whole bunch of past stuff for me. So that in and of itself was enough for hermit mode. But then everything we found out that was going on with my son's mom and in the background is like, it was enough to make me sick. Like, it really was. I don't want to even say it out loud, and it's not something I want my son to find out about. We'll just leave it at it was that bad times 2. And yeah, I don't even want to address it, but I just found out yesterday that he won the custody battle. I didn't really feel comfortable even mentioning what it was about until I found out now. So, but that's why I've been gone. It was just, there was a lot going on with that and having to help him with this thing constantly and digging and finding out stuff that I didn't want to find out. And it was enough to put me in hermit mode, but that's all over with now. I'm back. Not going to waste any more of your time. Let's get on with this Scorpio October 2023 status of the love connection here. That's what we're going to look at today. What's going on between you and your romantic person of interest. I'm going to do that by getting one card to represent the mutual point of interest between the two of you here in October 2023. Then I'm going to get 3 cards for you, Scorpio, 3 cards for your person to represent their energy in this connection. And then I'm going to clarify everything with this second deck here, just to make sure we can get down to the bottom of the unknown truth about what's really going on in this connection of yours. So let's get started. What is the mutual point of interest between Scorpio and their romantic person of interest here in October 2023? Let's get one card. All right, got that. It feels like we have more in here, but I'm not going to push. If more needs to come out, I'm sure it will, as they always do. What's going on with you, Scorpio? What's going on with Scorpio as it relates to their romantic person of interest and the connection between them? October 2023. I feel like I have something in here flip over on you here, so let's take a look. Make sure. No, apparently not. It just felt like that. There was a lot there. Kind of an explosion feel. Oh, okay. What's going on with Scorpio's romantic person of interest as it relates to Scorpio? And here's where all the extra is coming from. Okay. Try and keep these in the right order here. Oh, normally I get 1 card here, 3 for you, 3 for them. They just got 5. I'm reading those last 2 together because they came together, but these other 3 I'll read separately. So the same kind of a thing happened in the Cancer reading, so I will go ahead and apologize now if this reading turns out to be a little longer than I expected it to be, or a little longer than what you're accustomed to, but I gotta give you whatever comes out, and I'm not gonna shortchange it. So, bottom of the deck. Wow, the overall energy of this reading. The Devil. This is Capricorn's major arcana card. This is usually a heavy toxic energy. This can be an addiction or obsession or a feeling of being trapped by something, like feeling like you can't escape something, feeling like something's got control of you and you don't have control anymore, something else is in control. This can represent an element of a person's shadow, like a piece of themselves that they don't like, and they don't want you to see it, and they don't want other people to see it. They don't want to see it themselves. So it's something that they'll be in denial about most of the time, but it's something usually rooted in pain has happened to this person, and they went through something painful and they never properly addressed what happened and dealt with the pain and healed from all that. They just kind of like repressed it and pushed it down into the shadows and hid it and pretended like it didn't happen or it didn't exist, and they just tried to move on. But it did happen and it did exist, and this kind of energy gets buried inside of you, like usually in your unconscious, and it's the kind of energy that makes you do things, you know, like there are plenty of examples here. I'm sure some of them will come up, but this is usually not a good energy. It can sometimes represent that the connection itself has so much pull to it that you feel like you can't escape from it. But it is a toxic energy, and you can see here the Fool is on the card in a cage with the Devil, and the Devil has chains that are connected to the cage, and the Fool is scared to death, and he's trapped here, or at least he thinks he's trapped here. He believes he's trapped, but it's only because he doesn't have the courage to face the situation. And if he did have the courage to face it and he would unbury his eyes, he'd see that the chains aren't hooked to him, they're on the cage. The cage door is open. He could just walk out and leave this toxicity anytime he wants. But the same is true for like all kind of devil energy. Like if someone has an addiction to drugs, they're not really trapped. They can free themselves if they choose to do that. It's not necessarily going to be as easy as getting up and walking out of the cage, but it can be done. We have the Eight of Cups right behind that. This is Pisces energy of emotionally detaching or physically detaching and walking away. It's an energy of detaching. The person's walking away from 8 cups because 8 cups isn't good enough for them. And you could take that one of two ways. It could be a case where the best this person is ever going to be able to give you is 8 cups. And if you want the 9th cup, your own personal happiness and your own personal wish fulfillment, and if you want that 10th cup, like the happy fairy tale love connection we all dream of, like true love and happily ever after, if you want those two things, you ain't going to get it from this person because 8 is the best they're capable of. Another meaning for this card can be someone who has like that grass is greener on the other side of the fence syndrome, where something has popped up and now they've got these urges to do something that they can't control these urges, and now they have to go off and see, is the grass greener on the other side of the fence? And it's possible that something like this has already happened because I have Temperance behind that. This is Sagittarius Major Arcana energy. This is an energy of like trying to balance something back out when it's been out of balance really bad. This would be trying to like even things back out and get the equilibrium back. It could be an energy of patience. It's also an energy of reconciliation, as in like blending two things back together when they've been separated. So this almost looks like, yes, the devil made me do it, and I had to go see if the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, and I found out it wasn't. Of course it's not. The grass is greener where you water it, dumbass. The fence and what side you're talking about has nothing to do with it. And now I've changed my mind, and now I want to like try to reconcile. That's what it looks like I'm seeing here. That's kind of the gist anyway of what it appears this is going to talk to me about. This mutual point of interest is shared energy that affects both of you in October some way, Scorpio. Doesn't always affect you both the same way. Sometimes they do this and you suffer the consequences of it, or vice versa even. Sometimes they say or do something and then you start feeling or acting this way, or vice versa. Sometimes this is legitimately external energy affecting you. But the shared energy affecting you guys here is the Two of Cups. This is Cancer energy. It's a love connection between two people. It's an emotional connection. It's also a 2, and in tarot, 2s are about options and choices. So this is a choice in the connection. It can also represent a choice between 2 cups of love, as in I have you and this other person, and now I have to pick. Or maybe you have some other person and there has to be a choice here. If I have to stop right now and just say what I think is going on based on what I can currently see, I would say they have something else going on. Clarify this Two of Cups for you and see what else I can find out. Tell me more about the Two of Cups, please. Why is that the shared energy in Scorpio and that person in October 2023? Like, we got a lot going on here. Come here. Come here. And if you saw me turn cards right side up right there, I don't read reversals, so whenever they come out upside down, I just automatically turn them right side up. I know some people get bent out of shape in the comments about that, but you don't really need cards upside down to tell you if it's a positive or negative meaning. The cards in context with it tell you that. So, bottom of the deck, I have the Sun. And had I not seen what these cards were, I would be excited right now. This is the happiest card in the deck. It's Leo Major Arcana energy. This is happiness, joy, bliss, harmony, abundance. Like, it's really hard to get a better card than that in a love reading, especially when you're clarifying Two of Cups. But like I said, the context of the other cards tells you a lot. We got emotionally detaching and some toxic energy here. And what I have here is the very first card, I'm getting ahead of myself, is the Moon, which causes me to tell you the other meaning to this card. I'll just start with the Moon for a second. This is fear, worry, and anxiety, usually about uncertainty. Like, I don't know what's going on. I can't see everything in front of me. I can't tell, am I on the path still? Am I on the right path? Did I make a wrong turn? Should I go back? Like, what should I do? I can't see. And the uncertainty of that can cause fear and worry and anxiety in a person. The other meaning to this card is, like, if you think about when the moon's out, it's dark outside. And when it's dark outside, you can't see everything and things can be hidden in the dark. It can represent secrets being kept, an illusion going on here as it relates to Two Cups. So there is some secret apparently in this connection. The other meaning to the Sun is it's the card that comes immediately after the Moon in the sequence. So the step after it's dark outside and the sun comes up, well, it's not dark outside anymore. The stuff that was hidden in the shadows isn't hidden anymore. It's been exposed. It can be seen for what it is. That's what it looks like we're dealing with, especially given what's next on the bottom of the deck here. I have the Queen of Wands. This is either Leo or Aries energy. This would be a bold, passionate, fiery, determined, feminine energy. This is someone who knows exactly what she wants and she goes after it and she doesn't take no for an answer. Doesn't accept excuses. Like, she gets what she wants. It is part of the wand suit, though, and wands are about passion and desire. So this would be a person that there is desire for or desire being received from. This would be someone who would be viewed as sexy or vivacious or good looking or attractive, or there's like sexual desire toward this person. It looks like we have either so much happiness tied to this and so much desire tied to this for this connection that it could be bordering on obsessive, and there's something that's not seen here. Or we could have a choice between two people now because something got exposed that was hidden in the dark previously, and the thing that got exposed was this other hot person here, for lack of a better way to describe her. Ultimately, we hit the Hermit, which is the Virgo Major Arcana card. This is an energy of withdrawal and isolation. This usually means communication shuts down, and if it hasn't stopped completely, it's very different than it was before. This is where a person gets forced inside themselves to do soul searching and deep inner reflection and deep contemplation and looking at what do I need to adjust about me so that things can move forward the way I want them to move forward. This is not a choice. Like, you don't typically voluntarily choose to go into hermit mode. Usually something happens and it forces you there. And it's usually something very unpleasant. And if you're in a connection with someone and we get this exposure of another person being involved in like a passion, desire way, that would be enough to put you into hermit mode. When I clarify this Two of Cups, this connection or this choice between two cups, like I said, I got the Moon, Justice, Five of Cups, Knight of Swords, Nine of Wands. The Moon, like I said, fear, worry, anxiety, secrets being kept, something being hidden in the dark, an illusion of some kind. Justice, Libra Major Arcana card. I've had a lot of Major Arcana energy. That's powerful energy that affects you deeply. This is the most powerful card of balance in the deck. It's about doing the right, fair, just thing. The sword on this card is used to cut away something that's not in balance so balance can be restored and then the right, fair, just thing can happen. The fact that it's here screams something unfair and unjust and unbalanced is going on, hence the card being here to show the need for that to be balanced out and made right. Something is being hidden that's not fair, is what it looks like. This could also be something's hidden and then the jig is up and now there's consequences for this. I think I may not have gone far enough, because under the Sun and the Queen of Wands and the Hermit, I have the Three of Swords, which is Libra energy of heartbreak and sadness, usually from a third energy. That doesn't always mean another person, like romantic third party. Sometimes it's mom being nosy. Sometimes it's other family members or friends or neighbors or somebody that you work with being nosy. Sometimes it's the addiction or some toxic other person that's involved here that's causing problems. It could be any of that kind of stuff. Hell, like geographic distance could be that third energy. So not always romantic third party, although I do have hints that something like that could be going on. Central to all of this, I have the Five of Cups, which is Scorpio energy of sadness and remorse about the past. It's about being focused on the 3 cups that have been spilled and all the love and emotions and time, effort, and energy that's been spilled and wasted. There are 2 upright cups in the background, which means that there's still a connection here. Like, there's still the 2 of Cups here. It just doesn't have the focus, and there's more of it that's been spilled than there is of what's left. At its core, this card is about whatever a person focuses on literally determines what emotions they feel. So if you focus on the past, you're going to feel what you felt in the past. If you focus on something you've lost, you will feel that loss. And if you focus on something that you think is missing in your life now, you're going to feel that gap in your life. It's about paying attention to where your focus goes, and it's probably a case of where you are not purposefully and intentionally controlling where your focus goes. And that's why it's called your focus, because it's yours, it belongs to you, you own it, and you get to dictate to it where it goes. Sometimes it'll try to stray off, just like a puppy that you're potty training. Sometimes it'll try to pee on the carpet, but you have to constantly be on it. And nope, outside. Well, you got to constantly be on your focus the same way. Put it where you want. Nope, get back to where I told you to be. And eventually it listens to you. But that's the advice in that card for you. But this is telling me something's hidden, something unfair is going on. Apparently it gets uncovered and revealed, and now there's sadness and remorse about loss here. Next, I have the Knight of Swords, which is fastest knight in the deck. This is very fast, decisive energy, like rushing forward, taking a decisive action on something. This is like, I don't need to think about it first or while I'm doing it. I'm just doing it and I'll think about it later. A very abrupt, spontaneous, like impulsive kind of an energy, especially when you have the devil in the context with it. This is, a lot of times this will get referred to as a narcissist card. And I can say that it's probably accurate because I have the devil with it and in your person's energy. I'm getting ahead of myself, but there it is again. I'm using 2 decks and I've got the quote narcissist card in both of them. Not convicting them of being one yet. I'm just saying the potential is definitely there. That window is open. Nine of Wands is the final clarifier. It's a walled off defensive kind of energy. It's Sagittarius energy. It's defensive, but it's also an energy of healing. This is the wounded warrior and he's been hurt, which is why he's built this wall around himself. It's his way to protect himself so he doesn't get hurt anymore, so he doesn't get hurt again, so he can heal and get his energy right and move forward. This tells me that there has been hurt, and it was probably someone's very abrupt action that they didn't think about first. They just did it, and then it was too late. But it's almost like I did it, and oh shit, what have I done? Let me keep it secret. And that just makes it worse. And if there's like narcissistic stuff going on, that would be the person is like telling you you're crazy for all the suspicions you have, even though your suspicions are justified. This is blaming you for it, is what this feels like. That could be the wall, the barrier they're putting in place for you so that you can't, like, that's the thing about the wall. It's like we all do this. Like, we all have defense mechanisms, and sometimes you say the wrong thing to somebody and they hide behind their wall and you can tell the difference now. Well, like, look at the wall. It sticks in the ground. If I want to get to this person and physically harm them, those sticks aren't going to stop me. Those sticks are not protecting him. They're more likely to be this security blanket type of a cage that he keeps himself in, and instead of really protecting him, they just prevent him from getting what he actually wants. So there's an element of pain there, and there's an element of actions being taken very swiftly without thinking out of pain, which I felt from the beginning with the devil. Like, this can represent a person who does like terrible shit to people and is like a terrible person. But that happened for a reason. Like, they didn't just wake up one day and decide to be that. Something happened to them, and they ended up becoming the person that hurt them in most cases. So I'm feeling that kind of an energy here, because all of this is shared, affecting both of you. Like I said, sometimes this is what they do and it affects you and you feel it, and sometimes it legitimately affects both of you, just maybe in slightly different ways. They have sadness and remorse about something here too. But ultimately it looks like somebody doing some poorly thought out stuff that they shouldn't have done and then trying to hide it. That's the shared energy. I will come back to that. It's not uncommon at the early stage in the reading like this that I don't fully understand what this is telling me yet, but I will come back to it as I go through your energy, Scorpio, because then I'll be able to see how it applies to you. I'll come back to it again when I go through your person's kind of chaotic energy, and I'll tell you how it applies to them. Your energy in this connection for October 2023, Scorpio. 10 of coins, 10 of pentacles. This card calls them coins. I just usually say pentacles because that's what most other decks call it. Ace of Wands is central to your energy. And there's that 5 of Cups that we've already seen central to the shared energy affecting you both. 10 of Pentacles is Virgo energy. This is everyone's goal in the physical reality. It's like maximum stability and maximum abundance and prosperity and no one wanting for anything. Like, I can take care of everything, and this is like almost like wealth. But another meaning to that would be like physically combining together lives between two people or two families, like combining together in the physical world and building a life together. A lot of times for me, this will represent people who are married or people who live together or people who are in the kind of relationship where they're always together. Even if they do live apart, they spend so much physical time together, they might as well be married. Usually that's what it represents for me. And if I read just your energy here, just that, without clarifying anything, the next card central to you is this Ace of Wands, like some passionate new beginning, and then sadness and remorse and loss. Tell me about this 10 of Pentacles. Why is that here? Scorpio, that's the first card. All the yellow. Lots and lots of yellow. Bottom of the deck. 4 of Swords, Libra energy. 4s are about stability. Swords are about the thoughts, the mind. This would be like trying to stabilize your mind, stabilize your thoughts, like calm your thinking down and stabilize yourself mentally, psychologically. This is taking a pause, taking a rest, taking a break, going inside yourself to do some healing or to do some thinking and try to figure out what to do moving forward. As it relates to having combined together life, it looks like. This can represent, sometimes people go through a split and they don't want to call it an official breakup and like maybe label it as completely over, so they'll say things like, we're on a break right now. Well, that could be what this means, taking a pause in this connection, taking a break, trying to figure out what to do. It's definitely, maybe it started out as taking a pause, but it turned into Queen of Swords. This is Libra energy again. This is she who knows the truth. The reason she holds her hand out like that is she's offering to let someone speak their truth. Tell me your side of the story. So this usually indicates there was some serious discussion about what happened and a speaking of truth about that. The problem with her is she already knows the truth. So when she offers to let you tell your side of the story, it better match the truth she knows, or she cuts your head off with the sword. Just like the off with your head queen. She knows what's up, and this is usually represents a severing of the connection here, like cutting away the person or the thing that's no longer in my best interest. So this looks like we started out as a break trying to figure out what to do, and then some truth came out and a severing took place because your story you told me didn't match the facts. We got the Empress right behind that. This is the mother of the tarot deck. She's perpetually pregnant, so she represents the birth of something new. Usually that would represent the birth of a new connection. That could be the reason why there was a severing here. Ten of Cups. Pisces energy. This is that happily ever after card. This is everyone's goal in the physical world is the Ten of Pentacles. That's what I'm clarifying. This is everyone's goal in the emotional world in terms of love and relationships. This is the combining together of two people into that very happy, loving, where it's like true love, happily ever after kind of a thing. The downside of this card is that happy fairy tale ending type of a component to it, is because we all want that so bad. Like, we all want to believe that the relationship I'm in is this happily ever after I've always wanted. It's this perfect thing. We all want that. The problem is some of us get obsessed with that, and that idea in and of itself becomes a limiting belief, and it's something that they're trapping themselves in because there's toxicity here. There's distorted energy here. This isn't the real Ten of Cups here. It's something toxic and distorted. And we can fall victim to that need to believe it because we want it so bad, and that will make us like ignore behavior that we shouldn't ignore. We'll see red flags and we can't accept the red flags because if that red flag is true, then that invalidates this, and this isn't true, and I don't want this to not be true, so I'm going to ignore that red flag and pretend like I didn't see it. I'll sweep this stuff under the rug too to protect this belief that I have, this thing that I want really bad. It's probably an unhealthy thing to label a connection like this that way. This is telling me that in the midst of having this, we're together, probably physically, and you feel like this is the happily ever after. Now there's this break and this severing and this new thing getting birthed, popping up. And it probably came out really abruptly, very fast, because there was stuff going on in the dark that you didn't know about at some point. Unfair things were happening. When I clarify the Ten of Pentacles, I got an extra card. I got Strength, Nine of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, and the Chariot. Strength is the Leo Major Arcana. I feel like I've said Leo a lot. I've seen several Leo cards, including the Sun, which is the other Leo Major Arcana. I've got Capricorn, Pisces. Man, I didn't go far enough here either. I got Sagittarius, I got Libra, Three of Swords, Heartbreak and Sadness from a third energy. Yeah, there's you showing up way, way under the surface, needing healing and a break to heal and time to figure out what you want after the ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle happened. Okay, so anyway, Capricorn, Pisces, Sagittarius, Libra, Leo, some Virgo, Scorpios out here, Pisces again, Libra again, Sagittarius again, a little bit of Cancer, more Capricorn. You could be dealing with any of those signs. You could be dealing with literally any sign. This is a collective reading. It's going to be almost impossible for me to pin down exactly who you are dealing with as an individual person, because I'm not tapping into your specific energy as an individual person right now. I'm tapping into the collective energy for the group of Scorpio people I'm supposed to get messages for. So I'm just going to continue to call out the signs as they stick out to me, just in case they mean anything to you. This is Leo energy. Strength is a card that tells me you are going through a very difficult situation, or you did go through a very difficult situation that required all of your internal strength to make it through. You have the strength to make it through. You're just being forced to dig down deep and find it and use it. Another meaning to this card is it can be a person who's trying to tame that beast inside themselves. Like they're trying to rein themselves in and hold themselves back and not let themselves do anything, that would be a mistake. And they're struggling against a piece of themselves. That element of it feels like your person here struggling against a piece of themselves. There's that devil thing, like the urges, the desires, the stuff I don't really have control over. It dictates to me. It's like struggling against a piece of that. Usually that kind of a struggle, you run out of willpower at some point and then you lose. Next I have the Nine of Pentacles, Virgo energy. This is a step backwards from this Ten of Pentacles. This is we're combined together physically, and this is being physically single, physically not combined together. This is independent, self-sufficient. This is like with you or without you. I can do this on my own. I don't need you to physically take care of me. I don't need you to financially take care of me. I got that. Doesn't mean that you want to be single. It just means you were together and now you're going through this difficult time because now you're by yourself individually, physically. Next we have Four of Pentacles, which is more Capricorn energy here. This can be an energy of stability, as in like physical stability, financial stability, especially when you have Nine Pentacles with it. This would be like I'm self-sufficient. So it looks like you might be okay financially for the right now. This could also represent an energy of holding on tightly to something that you don't want to let go of, that you don't want to lose. Chariot is next. This is Cancer's major arcana card, fastest energy in the deck. It's like at its core it's about the will and like using your will to move forward past obstacles or problems or challenges or things that are in your way. It's using will to get past all of that stuff and move forward very fast in success and victory. There is an issue with alignment built into the card though, because the driver doesn't have any reins to connect himself to this, to steer it and control it. So he uses sheer will alone to do that. So if the driver is not fully in alignment, if all parts of himself aren't pulling in the same direction, this isn't going to go anywhere. Or worse yet, the dark side will go this way, the light side will go that way, and it will tear itself in half as it tries to move forward. This could be a case of there's this desire, this will to overcome whatever this is, because there's a piece of you that wants to hold on and not let go. So you've got the will to overcome it, but is everything lined up? Because that can be a metaphor for the two of you here, where you're trying to pull one way and they're trying to pull a different way, and that's actually tearing things apart too. So this speaks of having the will to overcome this stuff, but it leaves in question whether or not the alignment to do that is there. Central to your energy here, I have the Ace of Wands. This is a new beginning. It's an opportunity. It's a passionate new beginning, a new beginning in passion and desire. Another way to look at that can also be trying to re-spark a connection, trying to re-spark the passion, re-spark the desire, like fire the connection back up. It could be either of those things. You also do have to keep in mind, though, that this is the phallic symbol of the tarot deck. It represents the male phallus, using it to be intimate, sexual energy, sex. That's why it's about a passionate new beginning in relationship readings. Tell me about the Ace of Wands, please. Why is that central to Scorpio's energy here for October 2023? Bottom of the deck. Three of Swords. Libra energy, heartbreak and sadness from a third energy. I'm clarifying a card about the wand, the phallic symbol, a passionate new beginning, and the first thing that it shows me is third energy being involved. Oh, the shared energy is a card that represents a choice, either in a love connection or about two different cups. The Emperor. This is Aries major arcana energy. This feels like your person. This is the person who's in control. It's an energy of control. It's about taking control, taking charge of a situation. He's a master manifester in that he has the abilities to put together a plan to get what he wants and then execute the plan to get what he wants. It's the person that makes the rules, sets the barriers and the boundaries on things. He calls all the shots. With the devil out here, this is very easy energy to get out of alignment, to where you go from being in control of everything to like being controlling about everything. This feels to me like it's representing someone who is in control of the heartbreaking thing, and it's like their responsibility, and it feels like you're not looking past this because everything behind me is mine and I'm doing this. King of Cups. This is Pisces or Scorpio energy. It's also an energy of a person who has emotions and feelings for you, but they don't express those feelings. They don't wear their heart on their sleeve. So this could be a person who loves you and just doesn't tell you or show you, so you don't really know if they do or not. This could also be a person who's in emotional turmoil and you don't really know that they are because they don't show that either and they don't talk about that. I got the Sun back here. I think this is part of the problem here. This is like the person in control of the heartbreaking thing, and the third energy being involved is the same person that you have all this love and emotions tied to and happiness tied to. But there's something behind them that's getting exposed. It's probably related to their happiness, which is this Queen of Wands again, Leo or Aries energy. This is someone that they have passion and desire and attraction for, like sexual energy for. It could be a Leo or an Aries or even a Sagittarius, but it could literally be any sign. It could just be someone who like fits those qualities of someone that they think is sexy or vivacious, or someone that's like charismatic and they want to be around and they have desire for. When I clarify this Ace of Wands, passionate new beginning, I get the Four of Wands, Eight of Swords, King of Wands. A lot of wands out here in this story, like a lot of passion, desire type energy here. Four of Wands is another four. It's a stability type of an energy. It's stability of the home, stability of the family, stability of the connection between the two of you. This is a celebration of home and family. A lot of times this will be a family card or a marriage card, or like, again, another indicator that we got people that are married or living together or have a family together in some way is what I'm seeing here. So this is saying, like, in the midst of having this stable home and family life, we also have this new wand, new beginning and passion and desire, which is another reason why, like, this is like I'm trying to contain myself and not do it, but I can't hold back. I can't hold back. I'm being controlled by my wand here, and I got to go act on it. And it's why it's so hard for you to get through it, because there was this stability here when this happened. Eight of Swords. This is Gemini energy. Thinking in circles about something. It's thinking about it over and over and over again and grinding on it to where you just can't stop thinking about it. It's overthinking. And it comes from like having the blindfold on and not being able to see around you and not know everything that's going on, and you don't have information, and you got these gaps in your information, and you don't want to make a mistake, but I don't know, there's these gaps that I need to fill, so you keep thinking it through and filling the gaps. And it creates a situation where you're grinding on it so much because you're unsure and you feel stuck and you feel trapped and you feel blocked. But it's also a self-imposed mental prison of your own thoughts because you don't have the info to fill those gaps. So of course your mind is going to try to fill those for you. And it's probably going to fill those with the worst possible thing it could fill it with. And then you end up having this thing in your head that's like worse than it actually is sometimes. Sometimes you can get this limiting belief in your mind, like we saw with the Devil and the Ten of Cups. And this could be that false limiting belief that you have that you feel stuck in, but you're not. You could get out of that cage. You could just disconnect from it and walk away. But you don't think you can. Kind of reminds me of like an elephant. Like elephants are huge, they're strong, they could flip your car over no problem, and like it's nothing. But if an elephant watches you tie a piece of yarn around its ankle and then tie the other piece of that yarn to a stick, like just a stick, and stick it in the ground, the elephant sees this and it's like, oh shit, I'm trapped. They got me chained up and I can't go anywhere. And it will literally stand there and starve because it thinks it can't go anywhere. It thinks it's trapped. But it's not. It could flip over my car, dude. I know it could pull that stick out of the ground or snap a piece of yarn. No problem. That's what this feels like for me. It's like I'm stuck in my head about the being single. I'm stuck in my head about what happened here. I don't know everything that's going on. I don't know what's going to happen. This is all... This is feeling psychologically not pleasant here at all. King of Wands is the final clarifier for the Ace of Wands. This is the pinnacle of the wand suit. It's the counterpart to this Queen of Wands that we've seen a couple of times now. It's like, this is like passion couple here. This is desire counterparts. This is the person who is driven and motivated and knows what he wants and goes after it and won't take no for an answer and won't accept obstacles and roadblocks being in the way. This is, I'm going to find a way, or I'm going to make a way to get what I want. It's also someone who's also very driven and very motivated by passion, desire, sexual energy. Got an energy here that you probably find very attractive and charming and good looking and charismatic and are very attracted to, and that you don't want to let go of. But there's also this element here of the not fully aligned thing where they also don't want to let go of being King of Wands and being the pinnacle of that passion and desire suit that can just do what they want. Five of Cups is your final card here. Scorpio energy. Fives are conflict. This is emotional, like sadness and remorse and regrets and loss and grief, and it's all those negative, lower vibrational emotions. And it's about being focused on the loss of the love that's been spilled out and the time that's been wasted, and still having that connection in the background. And that makes it worse because I still feel a connection for this person, but look at everything we don't have anymore. And it's about where your focus goes causes those feelings to happen. And if you're stuck in your head, believe me, I know it is way easier said than done to just stop thinking. You know, it really is sometimes easier said than done. I get it, been there. But that's what this card is telling me, that where your focus isn't being very kind to you right now. We're very helpful either. But you're definitely feeling lost. Tell me about the Five of Cups. Why is that here? I just saw that Ten of Cups flip over and show itself to me and then flip face down again and not even come out. We just got some extra cards for you here. Let's see. Oops, come here. Bottom of the deck. Queen of Swords. Libra energy. Like I said, this is speaking the truth. This is cutting away the thing or the person that's not in your best interest anymore. This usually means we had the conversation after I already knew what was going on and you lied to me. That's usually when I see that. Especially, getting ahead of myself again, their very first energy for your person here, Seven of Wands. That's very defensive energy here. And defensive energy and Queen of Swords don't go well together because she will cut you. This feels like there's regrets of loss here about you severing this connection. I guess it is possible that they severed the connection and you're remorseful and feeling bad about that. Severing of working together. Capricorn energy. Three of Pentacles is teamwork, collaboration, working together as equals to build something of value. The thing you would be working together to build here is the Ten of Pentacles, which is the very first card in your energy. There's a severing to this, you and this person working together as equals here. And you have sadness and remorse about it. I got 5 clarifiers instead of the 3 that I normally get. I got the Magician, the Fool, wow, Judgment, the Hierophant, and the King of Swords. So the first 4 of these clarifiers are all major arcana cards. This is a very powerful energy that's affecting you in terms of the way that you're feeling right now. And I see why. The Magician. This is the Mac Daddy Master Manifester of the tarot deck. This is a person that's got all the abilities and resources to create the world around them to be any way they want it to be. A lot of times that's great energy to be in, but this can also indicate that someone has created the situation I'm reading about right now. Their thoughts and their actions created this situation that landed you in this sadness and remorse and negative feelings here that you have. This was someone's creation. They manifested it. I've got, okay, the Magician is the Master Manifester. He's card 1. He's got the 4 aces on the table in front of him, the ones of the 4 suits. Those 4 ones are 1111, the number of manifesting. Right beside that is the 4 of wands. Also, those 4 wands represent the 4 wands, 1111, number of manifesting. This is the celebration of the thing I've manifested has arrived. It's here. And the other energy is like I'm trying to rein myself in and hold myself back from manifesting something because I'm in this connection, but I manifested it. Anyway, the Fool is the next clarifier. We're going backwards here. This is card 0, and the first person the Fool meets on his journey is the Magician. We're going from 1 to 0. We're going backwards here, which is another reason you're feeling a loss, because we're actually losing something here. It's a new beginning. It's the first card of the entire tarot deck, so it's legitimately a new beginning at something. It's also taking a leap of faith. It's also foolish behavior, taking unnecessary risks, taking risks outside of the connection. There is this energy here of you wanting to manifest starting over at the beginning and taking the leap of faith with this person. There's also this idea of I can't get out of my head that they did this outside of the relationship and they took these risks and made me single. It's also I can't get out of the idea here, and what's going through my mind in circles is I'm single, and you get to just be the fool and do whatever. Or do I stay single? Or do I go try to start this over with you? Or do I just take a new leap of faith? And you're all over in your head trying to figure out what to do. Judgment is the next card. This is a final verdict and judgment being passed, a final decision. In a love reading, it's a decision about the relationship. And the decision is either we're passing judgment on it and calling it dead and over with, or the decision is we're passing judgment and we're deciding to resurrect this and bring it back from the grave and transform it so it's never the same way again. But I have the King of Wands here, which has represented your person with his back to it. I don't accept the judgment. I'm getting ahead of myself again, but one of the final cards that came out for your person is also judgment. And that 3 of Pentacles that we saw that gets severed here, the teamwork and building something together, that's even out here for them, but with a little bit of a twist. We'll get to that in a minute, though. Next, we have the Hierophant. This is Taurus Major Arcana energy. This is a card of commitment. It's about being in a committed connection where you're taking things to the next level, like moving in together and getting engaged and getting married. This is a marriage card. I have literally every marriage card out here. I've got the 10 of Pentacles, the 4 of Wands, the Hierophant. The only thing I'm missing that you could construe that way would be Queen of Pentacles and King of Pentacles, both of them on the table, because they could represent husband and wife or mother and father. They build the 10 of Pentacles. But I've got all these indicators that if you guys weren't married or aren't married, then it's very committed, living together or might as well be type of a relationship. But the final card I have here is the King of Swords. This is Aquarius or Gemini energy. It's decision-making energy, and it's someone who, when they decide, they are emotionally detached. Like, they do not consult their emotions when they decide. They look strictly at what's right in front of me. What can I see? What can I verify? What's the truth and the facts? And I'm going to decide based on that and that alone. This can seem like someone who's very distant emotionally, or emotionally not even there. It could seem like somebody who's cold and calculated and cunning. But when I have the Queen of Swords on the bottom of the deck with this, like we've seen the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, and I said those are like counterparts on the passion level. It's like that with all the kings and queens. It represents counterparts and potentially people who are together or might ought to be together, but this suit is different. This represents people that used to be together. So I've got all this like judgment happening to the commitment here. You not wanting to let go, but them also not wanting to let go of their wand, for lack of a better way of putting that. And then there's this will to overcome the obstacles and the stuff that's in the way of the commitment, but there's a gap here. There's an empty hole here between those two things. There's like, and the only thing around the hole is the King of Wands. It's like, and I realize if the King of Wands is doing the thing with the wand he's not supposed to be doing, saying like the only thing around the hole is the King of Wands, probably not a proper way to put that, so forgive me. But we got some bad problem going on, and it looks like you two not together right now. And potentially a question of, is that going to happen, or is this legitimately dead and over with? Scoot this, get some more room, take a look at your person's energy here, because in their energy for October 2023, Scorpio, we have the Seven of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and we got an extra card, an extra card times two here. These came out together, Judgment and the Page of Swords. This Seven of Wands is Leo energy. And I feel like I've said Leo quite a bit here. This is a defensive energy. This is like defending my position on something, defending my stance, defending, like protecting something that is important to me, or that fighting for what I believe in, or fighting for what I think is right, or fighting for what I want. It's a wand card. It can just be defensive energy. Tell me about the Seven of Wands, please. I'll just let the first card here. Thank you. Come here. Sorry, I need to get a drink. It's hot in here with all these lights. Okay, on the bottom of the deck, Three of Swords, getting defensive about the heartbreak and the sadness of having a third energy involved here. You can't make this shit up. Queen of Wands. This is the other person. And they're defending their decision on that, or defending their desire for that, or defending against accusations that I did that. The Hermit. Communication has gone quiet here, is what it looks like. This is also an energy of being forced inside yourself and searching your soul, trying to figure out what the hell do I adjust about me so that things can move forward the way I want. I don't believe that is what we're seeing here from your person, but I know, because like I said, this is the Narcissist card, and I've got it here in both decks, and it's actually the card facing this one that comes next in the sequence. That's what narcissists do. They get caught, and then they somehow convince you that they didn't do it, and that you're the one that's wrong, and you're the one that's crazy, and you should apologize to them. It's like that kind of a feeling here, and that's what this represents. It's like, okay, now I'm looking at me to see how is this my fault, and what do I need to adjust about me, because I clearly am making them not happy here. That's what this really feels like. When I clarify this Seven of Wands, I get the Six of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, and the Nine of Cups. Again, we have an energy of going backwards, starting at the Seven of Wands and moving into the Six. This is Taurus energy, usually of balance, like generosity and reciprocity. Like you scratch my back and I'll scratch your back. You take care of me, I take care of you. This is like balanced and equal give and take. We're both putting in the same and we're both getting out the same, and it's fair. Another meaning to this card is the Merchant, which is your person giving to two in the physical sense, and I'm defending against that. But here it is again, like, dude, you can't hide from me. Six of Wands is Leo energy of recognition. Like, sometimes this is a case of your person getting recognized publicly for something. Sometimes it's a case that they have some sort of a recognition happen. Sometimes it's a case of they get recognized for the fact that they're giving to two, and they get recognized for the fact that there's this heartbreak and sadness from a third person, and this is her. It's like, them getting recognized. This is also a card, though, of forward movement, and it's a wand card of passion and desire. Next I have the Nine of Cups, Pisces energy. This is a step backwards from the Ten of Cups that we all want, that happily ever after, that happy fairy tale love connection. This is a step backwards from that. This is a singles energy. This is emotionally single, emotionally independent and self-sufficient. Like, I don't need you to feel whole. I don't need you to feel happy. I'm happy in and of myself. My own personal happiness and wish fulfillment, which is kind of what the card represents, is like top level important for me. You know, I put that above everything else, which means I put that above how you feel, and I put that above what's best for us. Like, what's best for me is the most important, which again goes perfectly in line with that kind of an energy if we're talking about a person that's got narcissistic tendencies or qualities, or is just a flat ass narcissist, period. Could be. This is very fast, forward moving, very fast, decisive energy, and it's like, I don't need to think about it. I'm just doing it. Very abrupt and spontaneous and sometimes impulsive, again, especially with the Devil as the overall energy. And it's like, there's that detachment that I'm going to see if the grass is greener. Tell me about this Knight of Swords, please. Yeah, I know, you can't make it up. Bottom of the deck, Page of Cups. Pages are messengers, so this is news and messages and communicating about love and emotions, like lovey-dovey messages, expressing feelings, flirting, things like that. It's also a page, which is the least developed of the court cards, so this is someone who's emotionally not fully developed, emotionally immature. The fish in the cup is like, you can't really take me serious, and I don't really want you to. I'd rather you look at the fish instead of into my soul, because I don't really want you to see. It's like sleight of hand type of a feel to it. Queen of Swords, I'm not buying your bullshit. Like, this is recognizing the truth, speaking the truth, cutting off the thing that's not serving you anymore. Even though there was teamwork, collaboration, working together as equals to build something, that has now been cut because of these types of communications and things. These types of actions and the defensiveness about it. That could be saying that could be how you found out that something else was going on. You found a message that told you, or someone communicated it to you. It could be that even, especially with this Page of Swords out here. But you found out one way or another, and they denied it, is what it looks like. Clarifying Knight of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Page of Pentacles. A lot of pentacles here. A lot of physical world stuff here. Five of Pentacles, Taurus energy. Fives are conflict again. I don't like seeing this many fives. This is abandonment. It's being cast aside. It's being kicked out, being left out in the cold, discarded, tossed away, or leaving, which it could be the other way around even. So this is like breakup energy right here. And again, I'm going backwards. I got Six of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles. Next I have the Knight of Pentacles, and again I'm going backwards because the final clarifier is the Page, a step backwards again. This is the slowest Knight in the deck. I'm clarifying the fastest Knight in the deck, so these are two very stark opposite energies here. Usually when I see that, this is a person who wants something to happen like right now very quickly, and they're getting this slow drip, this slow snail's pace right here, and they're getting frustrated and aggravated because it seems like nothing's happening. This can also represent a person who knows what they are supposed to do but doesn't do it for some reason, or even the opposite, knowing what you're not supposed to do and doing it any damn way. He's got the Ace of Pentacles in his hand, the seed of abundance, the seed of everything, but the fields are empty in the background because he knows he has it, he's got it in his hand, he's looking at it, but he hasn't planted it yet. So this is someone who either wants something really fast or knows what they're supposed to do and isn't doing it for whatever reason. It could actually be both of those at the same time, and that's just different layers to this person. Four of Swords next, Libra energy. Again, stabilizing their mind, their thoughts, taking a pause, taking a break, trying to figure out what to do moving forward as it relates to my own personal happiness and wish fulfillment or being emotionally single. Page of Pentacles is next. This is news and messages and communicating about some physical opportunity presenting itself. This could also be planning for the future or being like at the beginning stages of creating a plan for the future that's not fully developed or thought out all the way yet, and trying to figure out what to do about this plan because things are moving slow. This really looks like what I'm doing is communicating to someone here that I want a breakup, and I'm waiting on this breakup and abandonment to happen very quickly, but it's slow drip and it's driving me nuts, and now I gotta like calm myself down and figure out what am I going to do about my plan here. This should be their final card, but it's not. We got one more after this. Three of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. We've seen this several times in the story on the bottom of the deck. Teamwork, collaboration, working together as equals to build something of value. The Ten of Pentacles is what you build together here. But notice on this card, there's not people working together. There's one person all by themselves working together to build something. So this tells me that you guys aren't in this Ten of Pentacles thing the same way. Either they're trying to build something by themselves away from you, and they have a plan they're working on to do that, and it's just not happening quickly enough for their taste. Or this is you working on this Ten of Pentacles stable home life and everything all by yourself because they're too busy running around doing something different. Not sure which. Tell me about this Three of Pentacles, please. I guess there's nothing stopping both of those things from being true at the same time, so you could be home alone working on it all by yourself while they're out somewhere else trying to build something you don't know about. Bottom of the deck, there's that damn Queen of Wands again, Leo or Aries energy. They're working on something by themselves that's not you, and it's related to their drive and their desire for this person. Emperor, that's the thing that they want now. This is the thing I'm putting together, my plan, and executing the plan to achieve. King of Cups. And meanwhile, mum's the word. I'm not saying anything about how I feel to you. I'm not giving you any kind of emotional clues or body language clues that something's off here. Something's getting exposed. But at the same time, this person's trying to take control of their love and their happiness. And there's the Hermit. This is feeling like they're blaming you for something and you're analyzing yourself, but it's also feeling like maybe they're not talking to you. So I'm not sure how to take that. Might be one way for you and a different way for the next Scorpio that watches it. I don't know. I know this one is draining me over here though. Five of Wands is the clarifier. Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups. It's not any question to me who the magician is in this case. The person with the ability to create this how they wanted it, their thoughts and actions created this. It's this person. This Five of Wands is, fives again are a conflict. This is Wands, desires. It's a conflict in desires. In other words, a piece of them wants one thing, another piece of them wants something totally different, and they're playing tug of war in terms of what is it that I really want. They're pulling themselves in different directions, which again takes me back to this Chariot card that's in the first column for you, and I said it's got an issue with alignment. It could be they're pulling one way and you're pulling a different way. It could be that a piece of them is out of alignment, and it don't matter how in alignment you are. If they're out of alignment and you're in a connection with them, it's distorted, and your whole thing is distorted now. Next, I have the Ace of Swords. This is the sword of truth. It's the sword of clarity. It's the sword of victory. It's also the sword in the Justice card that we saw at the beginning, that you cut away something unfair, unjust, unbalanced with. It's also the sword the Queen of Swords uses when she severs things and people that aren't in the best interest and severs the relationship. So it's that sword. This indicates some kind of a decision, recognizing something about someone who knows what they should do and doesn't, or knows what they shouldn't do and does anyway, and there's some decision or severing that comes out of that. This could be them being internally conflicted too about, look, I'm already building something with you, Scorpio, and now I got this new person, and now I'm torn both ways because a piece of me wants you and a piece of me wants this Queen of Wands chick, and I don't know. And it could be now I'm severing the other options to where I'm only left with one option, and the option I'm left with, my decision, is the new cup, the Ace of Cups, new beginning in love and emotions. And that's sitting right beside taking a break and my own personal happiness and wish fulfillment. And notice I've seen the reference to the 10 cups a couple of times. Don't have it out here, but I have the 9 and the 1, which is 10. But in the middle of that is something that needs stabilized, something that there's a break on, something that someone's trying to figure out what to do to execute their plan on. And at first they're conflicted about the plan, but ultimately they make the choice to sever this and go with the new cup. Final card for them, you actually have two. We got the Page of Swords and Judgment. Page of Swords is more news and messages and communicating. I've seen way too many pages over here, too much not fully developed, not mature energy. This can represent like an energy of someone who's trying to learn something or trying to figure something out, which we've seen taking time to think about and figure out, what do I do about my plan I have? Could be that. This can also represent an energy of someone who's spying or snooping around or being nosy or researching and investigating something, trying to figure out what's going on somewhere. Could even be someone that's not them, that's not you, it's some third party that saw something and maybe they're telling on them, and judgment happens because of that. Could very well be that that's how you found out what was going on, is somebody saw it and told you, or you snooped and found something. Either way, that type of an energy leads to judgment, which again we've already seen out here in the final column for you. It's that decision. Is this dead and over with? Making that decision that it is dead and over, or making that decision that we're going to bring it back to life. Tell me about this Page of Swords and Judgment, please. Bottom of the deck, Page of Cups. Again with the pages, news, messages, communicating of love and emotions, expressing feelings, lovey-dovey. This can also be an apology. But if it's an apology and I've got two page energies tied to it, this is an apology that doesn't have much weight to it, doesn't hold much stock, you know. It's like almost like a meaningless apology, or an apology that's not worth the paper it's printed on, kind of a thing. There's the teamwork, collaboration, working together as equals and communicating lovey-dovey stuff while doing that. 8 of Wands, very fast moving energy. It's second fastest energy in the deck. I've got the Chariot out here, fastest energy, period. second fastest energy. Knight of Swords we've got out here twice. That's the third fastest energy. We got a lot of speed here. This is an overwhelming amount of stuff coming at somebody at once, like taking a drink out of a fire hose. It'll blow you halfway down the street. It's like too much all at once. Can also be an energy of very fast forward movement on something passion and desire related. It can even be back and forth, passionate communicating happening very quickly. Can even indicate travel. I got the Knight of Cups behind that. Actions toward love and emotions. Moving forward with love offers, romantic gestures, trying to advance a cup of love. They're draining me here. There's like... We have progress happening here in two ways. Like, I've seen the going backwards energy thing happen in several different times in their energy. And now I've got starting with the Page and working the way up to moving quickly, and then now we're to the Knight. So we've gone from Page up a step to Knight here. This is like going from the stage of like talking about my feelings and escalating to the stage of now I've got all this passion and desire happening and a lot of messages happening, and now I'm actually taking action on my feelings. I'm doing something about it now. It almost is like communications that they were exchanging led to, okay, I'm not conflicted anymore. I'm passing my judgment on this, and I'm severing this with you, and I'm going with the new cup. I can see where the internal conflict probably came in a little bit, though. I got the Empress, Six of Cups, Seven of Wands. And yeah, they're draining me. God. This is the part about what I do that I have the biggest problem with. Rule number 1 is observe, don't absorb. And I have a problem sometimes not picking it up and absorbing it. The Empress is the mother of the tarot deck. She represents the birth of something new. That's where they had a conflict, because they already had something with you. And if I birth something new, well, then there has to be a breakup. And it's probably easier for them to just keep doing this whole giving to two thing, which is probably why Two of Cups, the choice that they have to make is here. And I don't think they're certain what to do either. And there's fear, worry, and anxiety because they have secrets and they don't want that to come out. Something unfair is happening, and if it does come out, there's sadness and remorse and loss, but they will experience a loss too, even if they're the one that does you wrong and breaks up with you. They're losing something. But it seems like what they were focusing on and feeling didn't really matter, because they still took the action, like very decisively took the action, and then walled themselves off. So this is a decision here to birth something new. Six of Cups is Scorpio energy of the past, thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past. The good old days, the way things used to be. So they did spend some time thinking about the past. This could also be saying that I'm birthing something new with a person from my past. Now, from their past doesn't have to mean that they were romantically together with this person. It doesn't have to be like an ex of theirs or an ex, boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. It can be someone that they just isn't brand new to them. There is a past with this person, a history with this person. It could be somebody that they went to high school with. It could be somebody that they're neighbors with. It's someone that they already know is what it looks like, not some brand new person like they went to the bar and bumped into this new person they've never met before and this all happened. This feels like someone they have some kind of a history with. There's also the history of the connection with you, but the card that's tied to it is the severing of that. Final card for them, Seven of Wands. That's, can't make it up. That's exactly what started their energy. Seven of Wands is their first energy and their last energy. Leo again, defensive energy. This is defending their position on something, defending their stance on something, defending against oncoming energy, defending against accusations, like being willing to fight for what they want. what they want is right beside this Ace of Cups, this new beginning in love and emotions. Now, if you still have questions you want answered about this situation or your relationship, click on any of the videos that just appeared on your screen right now, and when you do, you'll be taken to more Scorpio love readings that can give you more insight and more clarity about what's really going on in your particular situation, and I'll see you in the next video.